That's the way to be friendly. All the trains in North America are proud of being really useful. They pull passengers and freight while they get their work done. There are lots of farm fields near the railroad tracks, and the farmers wave as the trains go by with their passenger cars. It was early in the afternoon in Hissington when James was taking his mail cars to Kelthstrope to get some special packages for Sir Topham Hatt. The bridge goes right over Highway Route 95 that goes to Martha's Vineyard, and James passed over the bridge that went to the islands off Cape Cod in Massachusetts. James arrived carefully at Hissington Station. Henry was there. "You're here early," said Henry. "Why are you delivering the mail?" "Sir Topham Hatt has special letters today," wheezed James. "I hope they can be nice ones," said Henry. Then there was trouble. Diesel 10 was over-speeding behind them. "Get out of the way, puffballs!" he roared. Heard as he came closer, and he sped right past James and Henry. Diesel 10 was super cross, and he sped off. "I have unfinished business, and I'm finishing it today," he said. "Diesel 10's dust ruined my paintwork," James said, shaking in fear. "And all because he's evil." "It's okay, James," said Henry. "I'm sure Diesel 10 didn't mean to." He was upset. Henry looked at James. "But he's evil," James said sadly. "And his mean face can be angry sometimes." The next day, James arrived at Knapford Yards to collect his goods train. "I just met an engine called Diesel 10 recently," said James. "You did?" puffed Mevy. "Where'd he come from?" "He's a mean engine," smiled James. "Did he ruin your paintwork?" asked Mevy. But before James could answer, Diesel 10 came oiling into the yard. He was up to his old tricks. "How's it going, puffballs?" roared Diesel 10. "See, I've just put dust on your paintwork," he stuttered. "What in the world?" gasped James. "What happened?" asked Mevy. Diesel 10 reached out his claw and lifted it high above James, and then he pinched it. "Stop that!" roared James. "I don't like that." Diesel 10 was mischievous. Just then, another engine arrived that was evil. "Who is this?" asked James. "This is Treelore," roared Diesel 10. "She is my sister." She laughed. "It looks like I need to watch what I'm doing today," she said. A few minutes later, Nevi steamed out of the yard with her goods train filled with flour. It was an important delivery for the bakers. "It's time to collect our train," TT Bomber said. "We're collecting tank cars," roared Diesel 10. A few minutes later, when Diesel 10 left, Sir Topham had arrived. "Today, Hadley," he said, "I would like you to collect a goods train and take it to Vickerstown. And James is going to help with the logs and bring them to the sawmill," he added. "Yes, sir," puffed Hadley. "A purple engine is good for that job." And she puffed away with her freight cars. "It's nice of me to help from behind," smiled James. When James's logs were delivered, Hadley came over a steep grade. "I must make it over." Then there was trouble. The freight cars behind were very heavy, and they began to make Hadley go fast. Just then, her driver saw two goods trains, and he applied the brakes. But there was not enough time to prevent a disaster. "Looks like some puffballs derailed. Ha ha!" laughed Treelor. "Those puffballs sure are nice, Twinkle Toes," roared Diesel 10. Then Treelor applied her brakes and smashed into James, and it was catastrophic. When Edward arrived at the accident, he was shocked. Luckily, no one was hurt, but 6 trains had smashed into each other, knocking them all off the bridge and right off the line. "I'm ruined," called Dwee. James was upset in the sunshine. "I don't want to look like this at all," moaned Hadley. "Neither do I," moaned Henry. That night, a big storm came to Sodor, and lightning flashed and thunder crashed. All the engines were in the sheds getting repaired while the storm went on. "My paintwork will be better tomorrow," hoped James. "I hope so too," puffed Henry. Early the next morning, James, Dwee, Monica, and Hadley and Henry were repaired. "I'm glad to be useful again," Monica said. And she was. Nowadays, when the engines are being really useful, they like to pull passengers and freight for always when things are normal again. Although Diesel 10 and Treelor were beyond repair and scrapped, all the friendly engines were doing their job, and they were passing each other at stations forever and always. Roy-G Biv trains, like the Candy Pajama Slumber Express, goes long distances all over Sodor, for the hard work they do on Sir Topham Hatt's Railway.